It's Tuesday, the 6th of February 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's get going. Story number 1, the Pollies are back in Canberra this week to kick off the parliamentary year, but there's already a crisis in Australia's relationship with China. This is very serious. Detained Australian writer Yang Hengjun yesterday received a suspended death sentence from a Beijing court, which can be commuted to life imprisonment following a 2-year reprieve for good behaviour.
Dr. Yang, a dual Chinese-Australian citizen and democracy advocate, has been in detention since 2019 on espionage charges. Foreign Minister Penny Wong said the Australian government is appalled at the outcome and has summoned China's ambassador. She said Australia will continue to advocate for Dr. Yang at every opportunity and at the highest level. Now, this is a blow for diplomacy between the two nations because pretty much at all talks between ministers and at the very top level, when Prime Minister Anthony Albanese visited China last year, Dr. Yang's situation was raised. He was arrested in 2019 at Guangzhou Airport after flying in from New York, where he was a visiting scholar in New York's Columbia University. He was tried in a closed-door hearing. Australian officials were denied access, and yesterday was the announcement of the verdict.
And Sean, the other story in Canberra, which will get plenty of airplay, is the tax debate. A cost of living inquiry in Canberra has been told that Treasury spoke to the Reserve Bank about the proposed changes to tax laws, drawing the central bank into the current debate.
Apparently, the boss of Treasury, Stephen Kennedy, had conversations with the Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock. Treasury wanted to know if the Reserve Bank thought the changes would be inflationary. Now, Liberal Senator Jane Hume questioned whether that was standard practice or not. Don't know whether that's the case, but certainly drew the Reserve Bank into the whole tax debate.
Okay, on to story number 2, Sean, which is about the Reserve Bank. This week marks the beginning of a new era for the central bank with a 2.5-day board meeting, including the 2:30 p.m. announcement today of its decision on interest rates.
And there'll be a press conference from Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock today, updated economic forecast known as the Statement on Monetary Policy. The bank's expected to keep the cash rate on hold at 4.35%. That's what most of us want to know. Of course, we had lower than expected inflation data last week. There will be some pressure on the bank to start talking about rate cuts in the future. What will be very interesting is how Ms. Bullock performs at that press conference and how she answers that inevitable question, when will rates be cut?
Yeah, it's what we all want to know. Story number 3, Sean, a faster NBN could deliver a $400 billion boost to the economy by 2030, according to a report that was indeed funded by the NBN. Though the fact that thousands of Australians are actually dumping the service does put a slight caveat on the findings.
The economic modelling from consulting giant Accenture found that for every 1 megabit per second in average broadband speed, Australia's productivity-driven GDP rose by 0.04% on average for the 10 years till 2022. Now, that's an uplift, or that adds about $122 billion to the economy over that period. Rural areas and disadvantaged communities benefited most. All well and good, but in recent months, thousands of people have drifted away from the NBN. More competition out there. One of those competitors is Starlink, a satellite system owned by Elon Musk's SpaceX, which uses a constellation of thousands of low-orbit satellites to connect people in remote areas around the world, including Australia.
Story number 4, Sean, Australian icons like the koala and the platypus and echidnas, as well as turtles and birds and other native species, face a deadly threat if an outbreak of venomous fire ants is not eradicated.
The Federal Environment Department has told a parliamentary inquiry that fire ants, whose bite can cause severe and in rare cases fatal allergic reactions in humans, can injure and kill Australian wildlife, particularly defenceless hatchings. According to a report in the Sydney Morning Herald, fire ants invaded southeast Queensland about 20 years ago. They're threatening to gain a foothold in other states. There's been incursions in New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania in the past year. The department said the venomous pest, which is native to South America, could deliver painful bites to animals' eyes, nose and mouth and needs to be eradicated.
Last one, story number 5, a story from the Telegraph of London, Sean. The media group went to a bunch of experts who advised people on how to live a long life, and they turned it back on them. They asked them what they did to extend their own lives.
Excellent idea, I think. Great story. Longevity medicine is growing, and for many experts, it's about the small, incremental things people can do every day. In Australia, life expectancy for a male is 81.3 years, 85.4 for a woman. So, what do the experts do? In no particular order. They said, One of them walks to work with a 25-kilo rucksack. Another holds a plank position for 3 minutes a day. Another takes magnesium at night. Another a salad with dinner. Someone else said meeting a friend for coffee regularly. Someone else walks outside for 20 minutes every morning. A final one, eat spermidine-rich foods. Well, I had no idea what that was. It's a substance formed by 2 amino acids, fermented plums and soybeans that gives it to you. Kimchi, sauerkraut, shiitake mushrooms. There you go, Michael. Nothing more to say.
I've learnt a lot today, Sean. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael.
It's Tuesday, the 6th of February, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast, and if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed Business News, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.